And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for more Burning Wheel. So, you guys, I think like we just we came from a conversation between the brothers dearest. So let's cut forwards in time and see like what's Nikki doing post breakfast.
Gathering the group, as many of the group around as possible.
Cool. So that is you and I guess Evelyn hasn't left yet, and then two other peeps. Let's just for argument's say that it's Joshua and what was it, Joseph and
Joseph and Vinny.
Joseph and Vinny.
So we are being gathered like cattle.
I guess.
No, you're being gathered.
meeting.
Yes, you're being gathered like middle management clerks.
Oh god, that's even worse.
Exactly.
These cattle get respect.
Mm-hmm.
And this is weird for Minnow. He's never been treated that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, basically, gathering you all around, and then does this sort of leans his fists on the table, and says, "All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, well done on the
Where's
heist."
Evelyn standing in this?
Just behind and to the right of Nikki.
Minnow is standing beside her now.
Cool. She has yet to deign your presence with any worthwhile notice, just because she's not presently aware of your mood. So she's just listening as Nikki is
She
speaking.
will be. Nikki is speaking. It would be rude to end it there.
Mm-hmm. Been well for the first time in days. We're in a position where we can finally start making moves again. That being said, we do have some damage control to work. Despite the fact that our dear colleague Jihao's efforts did help save our lives, he has left there is a mess that needs cleaning up. That fire attracted a lot of attention. A couple of those geezers from Ruby Razor got away. Since they got away, we know they're going to come baying for all our blood. I don't want that for any of us. So we need to throw them off our scent. Send them chasing after some other thing. Send them to another person, cause them hell.
Jihao puts up his hand.
Eh?
Why don't we just kill them as they come along?
They won't just send This is Ruby Razor. You know them. They don't do things by half measures. They'll send as many people as they think it takes to kill us. And considering that they know that you have the magic to do what you did, they'll send more than enough people to overwhelm you. Indeed, overwhelm all of us. I don't want to take that chance.
So perhaps trap them.
Perhaps. But if we do just as well to make sure that we give ourselves time to prepare for such a thing.
Do we know how big this group is?
Can I roll something for that?
Yeah, you can. You can make a wise test applicable to this. So a wise about this city could do it, or a mercenary company wise check could do it.
No, I don't have either of those.
No, you can still make the test. That's how you would learn it.
Okay.
What would you have to roll to do the wise test?
That would be a perception test. So that's just a beginner's luck test, so you use the stat. So in this
perception,
case, it's you want to make a test to learn to know what?
How big Ruby Razor is as a mercenary company.
Okay, let's talk about that. So if you succeed, how big are they?
Well, I thought that was for you to decide.
No, I'm leaving it to you to decide. If you succeed, how big are Ruby Razor Company?
To be successful and to have a presence within the city and maybe beyond it, I'd say they'd have to have at least 200, maybe 250 men.
Oh, yikes.
Okay, so it's a company of 200 to 250 if you succeed. Good. If you fail this test, I am going to quintuple those numbers.
And that means what? There'll be 1,000 people?
Well, quintuple is 5 times 5, so it's 1,250.
Are there even that many people in Manning Bridge?
No, not in Manning Bridge, but that would be the size of the company, right? It would be
so across the entire world.
no, just across the region.
Ah, like so. Well, they are mercenaries.
Mm-hmm.
And this time they are bound to get a lot of people who want coin and kill stuff.
Yes.
So please don't fail it.
No modifiers, I assume.
Yeah, you don't take any. Yeah, so let's hear it, Rasmus. What are you gonna say?
Since I identified them last time with a check, could I give him a +1 for assisting?
You can't assist on a beginner's luck test, unfortunately. So
fair enough.
He's making a dangerous first step here, but it's doable. So
and base
these are the stakes, right?
Yeah.
If you succeed, we know that the size is 200 to 250. If you fail, then it's about 1,200. If the obstacle to this test is, let's see, what's the obstacle? The obstacle to this test is an OP2 mercenary company test. I would have said OP3, but it's their region, like they're regionalized to your space. So I'll drop it by 1.
So 2.
Yeah, so 2. So a beginner's luck test, that doubles the obstacle, so your obstacle increases to 4.
Jesus Christ.
Shit.
I'm not sure I want to make this roll anymore.
Do we have persona to spend?
Let me have a look at the rules, and I will tell you if you are locked into making this roll now.
Well, what is your perception?
So we establish your intent, we establish your task. I said what kind of test this is, we've done that. I decide how long the test will take. This will just be like you scanning your memory, so it'll be just brief. Set the consequence for failing, we've done that. The ability that fits your task is a beginner's luck mercenary company wise check. Its exponent is the base number of dice rolled. You may spend 1d to double this.
I spend 1d of what?
1 die of deed. To
also,
so I don't see anything that locks you into this. I might be wrong, but I think you could elect to not make this roll.
Yeah. Well, there's a difference between her having no idea how many soldiers we're going up against, or having an idea and having the number be so unspeakably horrible that.
Right, one of them still leaves the door open on how many people are in there. If you make the test, then you will know no matter what. I'll give you the number. It's just a matter of what is true in the fiction, and you will earn a test.
Even with my perception being what it is, I can't see me succeeding this roll.
Well, maybe Jiaoji can make it.
Well, it's not a question of how she can make it, because we have like this is a matter of if Chris is going to take it.
Well, he could say we don't know.
Go on, let's make it. This is all about taking risks and learning from our failures, so we might as well use the system while it's there.
Cool. So let's see it. This is an up 4 test.
We fail.
Cool. So so you scan your memory of this company, and initially drawing blanks, you then kind of like you remember someone once like talked to you about like these people, probably like one of the guys working for you mentioned like hanging out with and drinking with some of them. Because like basically like them moving around the countryside is also a threat to your operation in general, right? If you get found out, who knows what these kind of savage sellswords will do to people who walk around the countryside unprotected. So yeah, you come up with the number, and it's generally it's a very big organization. It's not the biggest mercenary company there is by any stretch at all. Like there are mercenary companies with thousands upon thousands of men at their arms. But this is certainly one of the biggest in the region.
Yeah, I convey all of this to them. That we have essentially potentially trodden on the toes of a fairly major player.
Minnow frowns.
Yeah. So it would behoove us to give ourselves as much time as possible, or indeed push implications away from ourselves as much as possible.
In that case, you should probably make sure that it's entirely successful.
Well, that's why I'm
You would
hoping.
not want them to come back.
That's why I'm telling you all, so that we can all work together to get this shit done.
So do you have a victim in mind? We are to shift blame.
Our old friend Dr. Karoba springs to mind. After
Yeah, you makes like a motion to continue.
Mm-hmm. Screwed us over bad. I want him to suffer for it. Besides, we know he's got enmity, and we just need to try and figure out on a motive we can pin on him, and then find a way of leading the trail straight to him from there.
How would you explain then that? I guess I'm working for Dr. Karoba then. My presence.
Something like that. I'm open to any suggestions you may have. This is obviously something that, that even I may struggle to cogitate by myself.
Well,
Xiao looks to Minnow.
Well, he did have mercenaries last we were with him. They could have gotten into a scuffle and set the entire place on fire.
If I remember correctly, we also went to him because of his expertise with alchemy, which is magical in nature. He says and looks to Minnow to get a confirmation.
Minnow half nods. Yeah, it's a way for the layman to do magic.
This is all different depending on who you ask, but now we know Minnow's answer. Right? Some people will call it a hard science. Some people will say it's steeped in magic.
Well, the way Minnow sees it is other people who doesn't know what alchemy actually is would see it as some form of magic, because powder turns into fire.
Yeah,
makes
sense.
Amazing, right? So Minnow's, it will make the layman do some sort of magic.
Cool.
Would be correct in his mind.
Well, in that case, perhaps there's not too long from there to actual magic.
Indeed.
And just possibly, Dr. Karoba had heard of the magic happenings around the city and decided that it would be a perfect chance to shift the blame to someone else.
Indeed. So, working from that, how do we set it up to make it appear like that?
Are we sure this is even an issue? Evelyn says, raising her voice.
We've taken an important step that I know you approve of. We're going more open, we're starting to confront our foes more openly. I understand that. I'm willing to push us in that direction, Evelyn. But are we really prepared to take on over 1,000 men by ourselves for this? Are we ready for that?
I mean, is that even gonna happen? 1,000 men sounds insane.
They would probably send a small delegation, and if that is then destroyed, they would send more.
How would
So
they
they
know
are
who
successful.
you are? Did you happen to give them a greeting card when they ran from you? I disagree with us finally stepping up and growing some balls, she says, slapping Nikki on the arm as she does so. Growing some balls and doing what needs to be done to get a leg ahead in this fucking garbage gutter ass world of ours. And now we're supposed to lay low and play quiet and shift blame. If you want Karoba dead, why don't you just say so and we'll gut him in his sleep?
I suppose we could go after the ruby racers that's in the city and off them one by one. Or take them on group.
If we could corral them into a sizable area, I could rain lightning from the sky.
Potentially, but if we can't get them all, if any of them slip through that, then we risk just earning their ire even more directly.
Every NPC shifts uncomfortably at the mention of raining lightning from the sky.
Minnow doesn't
I
think more
pretend not
about
to
it.
notice. Well, then that's when we have your fine men to make sure that any who should miraculously survive are, well, unsurvived.
Evelyn, when you say that, Evelyn like gives a crooked smile and her head like bobs up and down. She nods and like looks between you and Nikki and being like, "Yeah, damn right." But Nicholas, you notice, and I'll leave it to the other two if you notice. But as the employer, you definitely notice, like that your two other boys look markedly uncomfortable at this mention. Right, these are hard guys, but they're smugglers. They're not assassins.
Yeah, Nikki brings us up. Let's prove ourselves.
You just call out there with their hesitance.
No,
I
no,
noticed
I don't.
I noticed you guys being pussies over there.
No, and for fuck's sake, constant Skype updates. I can't pay attention with all the Skype bleeping in my ear every 5 fucking seconds.
Set it to do not disturb, so it
Yeah,
shuts
then
up.
you won't get any notifications.
I'm doing it now. Don't worry.
I am worried.
I almost clicked leave conversation. That's not.
Well, then you probably won't get any notifications from this combo.
No, that's what I meant. Look, no, what I say is, look, our crew can handle a lot, but we're not fighters. We're smugglers. We're used to going under the radar, avoiding people. That's what we do. It
No
takes
harm in picking up new skills.
No, but it takes time to make the shift. If you force something like this, it falls apart all too quickly. We've made good progress and we'll continue in this direction, but we need to make sure we don't overwhelm ourselves with enemies. We have enough as it is without taking on one this big and earning the attention of this one so directly. If we can get our current enemies fighting amongst themselves while we deal with them in the way we choose to, however that is, it will be to our benefit.
So you say that. Evelyn's not arguing, but she makes like a pained groan in disapproval of your words, like, this shit again sound.
I think Shihao would like to take this chance.
Go on.
A chance!
If I may. And he says, actually, Miss Scrip, that's her name, right?
Yeah.
I had been considering asking you if we could spar to further my own combat expertise. But in this case, perhaps it would be more fitting if we arranged for everyone. And he looks at Nikki when he says everyone, to become at least somewhat competent in combat.
Minnow looks shocked. He dropped his jaw.
You immediately notice that, it doesn't matter how good your people skills are. I will let you decide if you notice, but I'm giving this to you. So you notice that you've caught her at a bad time because she's majorly annoyed right now. So the moment you say that, she kind of like, her gaze flicks to you for a moment and she says, "Sod off, I'd break you in half, you twig. I don't have time to waste nursing you babes at my teat." And yeah, she shuts you down. Do you want to pursue the issue?
Of course. Well, obviously that's the whole issue, isn't it?
She looks at you quizzically.
If you could snap me in half like a twig, I'm pretty certain that you could also do it to many of the other people in here. That is precisely what we're wishing to avoid, if we are to take a more offensive approach. You don't fight a war with twigs, now do you?
Your metaphor, like it sinks in. Although to start with, it looks like it's going over her head, and then she catches it.
No, get down here, fat bird.
She makes like Drax, right? Nothing would go over her head. Her reflexes are too good. She catches it. So she scowls at you and says, "Waste of my bloody time, a lot of you." So at this point, I would be perfectly willing to like pursue the issue if you want to, yeah. So
I would like to.
Okay, you do. At this point, I feel like we're going into a duel of wits.
I think she house shrugs and says, "Sounds like Miss Scribb is too good to be here then."
I think she counters by like, I forget what the sound, like what the name, what the word I'm looking for is, but like she makes the sound of someone like like harking back a loogie, like like a snort of derision. And let's do some duel of wits, because you definitely want this, and I am going to totally accept you fighting for it.
We're going to make him
also
suffer
part
for
of
it.
his belief.
Let's see, do we have something?
Yeah. Well, can I can I request the assistance of my brother dearest?
People in like the room count as the audience and may interfere with this as they please.
Because I remember last time you said something about being able to get assisted.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So what do I do?
So we let's start out by establishing what it is we want. So we're dueling of witsing in this case. So
Dueling of witsing. I love that. Dueling of witsing! Yay! It doesn't sound retarded at all.
Nope, not in the slightest. This is definitely me, not me purposefully mangling this. So we start out with a statement of purpose. We have disparaging positions. Your position is what? It's that you want her to teach you, and you're like this. Your argument was that she should teach all of you, but what you actually want is for her to teach you, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so type in your statement of purpose.
Right. What would you just said?
Yeah, type that in, and I will type in her statement of purpose.
Minnow might actually help out this time.
Yeah.
Though what side I'm gonna help out, I have no idea yet, because he kind of wants to support his brother in actually learning other than just flinging spells. On the other hand, he's sort of fancying Evelyn now. You put him in hard decisions.
Well, yeah, Evelyn doesn't seem much well disposed to any of us at the moment, considering
No. But Minnow is starting to
I
dig that
need to
part of
exercise
her.
that. That's okay?
Yeah.
Kitty, kitty.
Be gone, woman.
Yeah, go away, Evelyn.
No. I was impersonating the cat.
If Tula have that kind of a very, 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 very manly voice, be worried.
Not quite sure why, but
Okay. So we have a statement of purpose. now we should, as the next point, I believe we establish our terms for this conversation. Let's see. So yeah, so this is us stating our case, right? This is what we want. I guess maybe if you word it as like your claim to this conversation, that would be useful. But I'll let you do that.
I can do that.
Then we should figure out terms for what if you win this duel of wits, what do you get, and if she wins, what does she get? Because I think this is about more than her just not wanting to, right? This is not a simple matter of it started out being just you want her to teach you and she doesn't want to, but I think like this is becoming more than that. This is becoming a matter of like you're looking to her to help you steer the course in the present direction, and she's gonna use this as a kind of power move to like make her case and be like, yeah, so by the way, I am actually extremely important to this operation, and I need to like to get my foot in the door, and y'all need to respect and understand that I don't play second fiddle to Nikki. I am like an equal partner in this shit, and if I say it doesn't fly, you need to shut up and put up.
Yeah.
So is this what I've written now better?
Yeah, that works. So these are her terms. That if she wins, she will not train you. So you won't get to waste her time with that in her own mind, and you will all recognize that she is an extremely she is the second most, if not shared first place, important person in the room to this organization, and you will follow her lead in this new course. She will not carry your weight. You will pick up, like you will shut up, you will put up, and you will follow.
What?
That basically she's saying like we're heading in a newer and aggressive direction with this, right? That is the subtext of this. That's why you need her to train you, is because we're heading in a distinctly more violent direction in this organization. So she's using that as a grab for power to be like, I'm not just Nikki second in command no longer, right? I am. You all need to respect me as if I was an equal partner to this guy, because as we can all see, you're all staring at me, waiting for me to train you. Thing is, it's not gonna happen, but I'm gonna call the shots on this.
So she wants us all to recognize that she actually needs the fucking respect, and that we are going with being aggressive and killing everyone off.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just... What was she trying to say?
And
Yep.
of course, to Shihaoji, her argument is stupid,
Mm-hmm.
in that she agrees with where we're going, but she's not willing to actually help us get there.
Yep.
But
Right,
so if he wins,
she can carry this shit, right? And you all need to just be better.
So if Shihaoji wins, he would, or she would start teaching us to become better at fighting. And with us, I mean me and whoever volunteers, I guess.
Yeah, write it out.
Meadow would be one of
Whoever
them.
that is deemed necessary.
Yeah, write it out as you say it.
Okay. Let's see. Like that. I'll make it slightly smaller so we can tell them apart.
Cool. So interestingly, your term does not conflict with some of her terms, right? That she wants to be recognized for this. You're not offering to counter that. You're just offering like, you will give us training, lol, which is totally doable. I'm just saying that these are your terms, right? So if you succeed, she doesn't necessarily she acquiesces to your terms, but she does not necessarily have to stop like calling for being alpha dog number 2, unless you include.
I mean, it could just as well be me convincing her that if you're going to be alpha dog, you need to do this.
Yeah, if that's what you want. I just want to make sure that you understand like the terms.
Well,
yeah, it was just to make an example.
Cool.
If I can do my bit.
Yeah.
Basically, if she wins, she gets her way. Meaning, if she doesn't win, she doesn't get her way.
Yeah, so that's not exactly how this works. If she wins, she gets her way. If Shihao wins, he gets her way. He gets his way. And if there is if everyone takes damage, then we compromise. So that's how this is going to play out. So now we have an option of walking away. So you can walk away from this conversation. That means that you're choosing not to engage, and you're choosing to not talk on this subject. I am assuming you don't want to take advantage of that.
No.
Goody. So let's establish our body of argument. So what do you use to establish a body of argument? Do you have a social skill you can use?
Not as far as I remember.
Okay.
I'll check anyways.
I'm gonna jump in and see what she has.
Could you mention quickly what they were?
The skills useful here are coarse persuasion, interrogation, oratory, persuasion, poisonous platitudes, rhetoric, or stentorious debate. Yeah, those are it.
Alright, I have none of those. Though I do have a routine check towards unlocking persuasion.
Cool.
Lol.
I don't know how many you need.
It says so.
It says so in the skill.
Being learned, there is a circle with a number in it. For me, staff is being learned and it has 7, meaning I need 7 of the routine checks to do it.
Oh, I should probably add it there then. And it uses persuasion. Uses will, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
What is this?
So what's gonna happen here is we need to establish is this a big deal? Is this not a big deal? Or is this just quote unquote normal? If it's a big deal, then we may have more a bigger body of argument. If it's not a big deal, we'll have a smaller body of argument. And if it's normal, then we'll do it normally.
I mean, it's at least a deal because it involves one of my beliefs.
Yeah, so I guess in this case, I guess this means that this would be. I guess we'll make it a big deal because it involves everyone at the table, and it involves the organization that you're presently running. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good question actually. I know Minnow will probably help someone, but how about our resident talker, Nikki?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Not that Minnow can't talk, but
Your body of argument, Rasmus, is your will exponent. You don't have a skill useful for this, so it's just your will exponent. The same goes for her. She doesn't have a skill useful for establishing her body of argument, so she also just uses her will.
Didn't I roll something last time?
No.
I don't. Nikki rolled something last time.
Because Nikki has persuasion and whatnot.
Okay, I need to change that definitely.
I'm thinking that I'm going to be.
Whose side are you on?
What
I'm
do
on
you
my
feel
side.
like messes the best with what Nikki wants?
Yeah. That's actually what I meant.
There you go.
I'm more inclined to agree with what Jihao wants, but at the same time, he feels more companionship to Evelyn than he does to you.
Yeah, you're not compelled to help one side exclusively. If something is being said in the duel of wits that you want to chime in on, whether it's to help one person or the other, you can do so, and you'll just offer helping dice to the person making the argument.
Wow, I did not expect Evelyn to have as much will as Minnow.
She does not. She has 4 will, but this ties into one of her beliefs, and she has a trait called stubborn that gives her 2 to her body of argument when she's dueling of witsing about something she believes.
Oh, cool.
So you
Yeah.
have the same will exponent. It's only Minnow with a will of 6.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have Nikki chip in on both sides of the coin.
I'll actually see where this goes because it actually really depends on what they say and how they say it.
Okay, so let's script our opening statements. You know how this plays out. Just pick from the deck and lay down.
I
3
think
cards.
you need. Oh, you've changed it since the last check. Okay.
Yeah.
How many could I put? I forget.
You can put 3. So I'm gonna put down my 3, and then you can talk about what you want. If you want
I
to,
need
like,
to read some of them over again.
yeah.
And of course, I don't have any of the stats these are derived from.
You can always use will.
No, never.
Oh, it's been very long time. Since,
I'm annoyed that all the cards are so small that you can't read what it says about it.
You can click on
You
them.
can click
they
if
get
you
bigger.
click it, then it'll blow up the screen.
Ah, cool.
So there we go.
You know what? Sure, let's do it like that. That one's hard. Alright, so let's try it like...
Whoa.
And... Yeah, I'm still not that used to this, but... Could you make my cards big as well?
Yeah, sure.
How do you do that?
I just click them. Their images. So I click them and then I drag the corners.
Drag.
Oh, sure.
There we go. So
Let's see how this goes.
let's open our first volley then.
Yeah.
Fire!
Flip card. Point.
Cool.
You both stand and point at each other.
So who's the oldest of the 2 of us? She is. Let's see. She's 28.
I'm 28.
Okay.
So,
In
yeah.
that case, I think she goes first because this is her wheelhouse.
Sure.
That's the way we did it last time, right? Where it was you and Nikki. I gave Nikki the advantage
Yeah.
because this was his place.
And I think, and that might actually tie into his base humility trait. I didn't think of that, but I think Shihao is polite enough to let them finish speaking before
Right, so
speaking.
you're used to like crotchety old men telling you what's what before you make your point.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, let's do some pointing. So this is just a standard test. So yeah, so she says, yeah, and when that's been said, here's what's what. I'm the one around here who knows which way to hold a knife without cutting my own hand in the process. I'm the one here who knows how to fucking kill people. Maybe, if we're all so darn scared, we should listen a bit to what this bitch has to say every once in a while, huh? How about that?
Is it my turn then?
Yep.
I don't object to any of those. In fact, those are exactly the reasons I want you to teach us. I don't think you're stupid enough to think that we would just be able to learn by ourselves.
Cool. Let's roll.
What do I roll?
So it sounded to me like you were making a persuasion.
Probably. I don't have persuasion.
Then you roll your
So I just roll will?
Yeah.
But it will still
and,
count towards your learning it.
it might. He will earn at least one test for this, right, over the course of this. And she too will roll her will untrained, because she's also trying to persuade.
So no modifiers, I assume?
No modifiers.
How does it work if the others want to butt in?
If the others
that's a
want to
good
butt in, they
question.
need to do so before you roll.
That was actually not that good. 1-1.
Wow.
Okay. So when we roll with a stat instead of a skill, we need to roll 2 successes to accrue for 1 success. So she gets 1 hit on you, but you don't get a hit on her. So lower your body of argument or like type in that you now have 3, but you could keep the 4 around, but we can remember that it's 4.
I'll do this.
Let's do the second volley then. Go.
Flip card.
Cool. Insight feint. So what happens when you feint versus insight? It's a versus test. Okay.
It looks like feint is used against inside, I can see.
Yeah. So when you feint, the speaker leads his opponent into a trap. He lures him into thinking he's discussing 1 point until the hidden barbs is revealed. It can be used to bypass rebuttal and to attack feint, incite, and obfuscate. In standard test, each success subtracts 1 from your enemy's body of argument. In a versus test, the margin of success is subtracted from your opponent's body of argument. So this is a versus test. So I'm just gonna see what the order is here. So points and dismisses are spoken before rebuttals. Feint and obfuscate are used to interrupt other people's flow. If 2 people are throwing points, dismissal, or incitements at each other, you let traits decide who speaks first. The order doesn't really matter. The results of the test are tallied after both characters have spoken. So so you use feint, so you're probably like interrupting the flow of what she's saying, right? So she's gonna start out by inciting you, and then you feint to try and to try and catch her unawares.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a versus test.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm gonna start out. So yeah. So your point was that's exactly why you should train us. I don't think you're stupid enough to think that we should not be trained, right?
Mm-hmm.
At which she snaps at you and says, "No, that's just it. I think you are stupid enough. You're stupid enough to play with fire, you little twerp. Here's the deal. I don't have to deal with your shit. You have to deal with mine. So fuck off." You feint. What do you say?
I actually have very little idea how to feint in mid-conversation, at least without actually, doing it, I guess.
Let's see about speaking the part of a feint, if it has anything to say. So the speaker leads his opponent into a trap. He lures him into thinking we're discussing 1 point until hidden barbs are revealed.
Hey, you can totally use seduction on feint.
Yeah, you can.
It says so. You can lose seduction on feint.
You totally can.
Oh, I could actually help him with that.
Yeah, I mean, feinting is exactly what I want to do, right? I guess I kind of want to reinforce my last point, since that's my main point, basically.
Right. So she's doing an outburst, and you want to try and twist that some way.
Yes.
Go.
I would rather do this outside of actor's dance.
Okay.
Is what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm okay with that. We are all getting used to this. So how does she do this?
So he definitely, I guess, uses her momentum against her.
Mm-hmm.
So she blows up, and for a while, I think he lets her, and then lets her talk herself into a corner, and then he strikes with the blow that cuts through.
Cool. Let's see how that plays out. So this is a versus test, so we'll see who gets one up on who. She's definitely intimidating you, whereas
Fuck
you
that
are.
bitch.
What are you using for your feint test?
Let's have a look. What does it
Yeah.
say I can use? It's annoying I can't click on the cards when we've played them.
Extortion, falsehood, interrogation, persuasion, poisonous platitudes, religious diatribe, rhetoric, soothing platitudes, or seduction.
I think rhetoric or persuasion.
Cool. So pick
I
one.
have a good question here. What was it she said again?
Basically that like yes, she thinks he is stupid because he keeps playing with fire, and she's gonna punish him for it. She doesn't have to pick up their slack. You need to like pick up your own slack, or she will fucking make you regret it.
And it's
How
so
would that
funny that
mesh?
she totally misheard what he said.
How would that work in if Minnow elects to help him this time?
So that depends on you, right? How would you help? That is a matter like you speak your part and be like, so no, you need to do like say what Minnow says, and then try to
Basically, I think since he is reacting with seduction,
yeah.
and she is going on, you have to pick up your own slack and blah 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 blah. He would probably put his hands on her shoulder in a seductive manner and smile at her and say, well, isn't that actually what he's trying to do? He's trying to have the toughest bitch teach him how to use a knife. With a seduction move. He's probably going to get slapped in the face, but I want to do it.
That doesn't sound like seduction to me, right? It sounds like you're just reinforcing his point. So you could
Yeah, but I want to use seduction. That is why I'm fucking asking you.
yeah. So I'm telling you it's fine, but you will want to like tell me how you're seducing her and how that is adding to Rasmus's argument in this case, because what you just said sounds to me like persuasion, which is just fine.
Okay, he wants to play on her being right that she is a tough bitch, and her being a tough bitch means that it's valid for her to actually teach them.
I think it sounds like Minna wants to try and use flattery, which I guess could be part of seduction.
Yeah,
Um,
basically. I am terribly bad at speaking, which is why I should never have given Taryn any expression.
no, that's fine.
But-
that is exactly why
That
you
is
should do it.
another place. This is more, you're gonna do this.
Okay,
So he's gonna use flattery and then tell her that is exactly why she should teach him.
right. So what you want to do is like you want to be like, no, baby, no, you don't understand. We need you, right? We need you because you're so cool and bad. So like you.
Yeah, you are a tough bitch. We need you.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll allow that. I would normally say like this is like kind of a soothing platitudes thing where you're not saying anything, you're just agreeing. But I like, because as you said, right, it's a matter of like learning it and getting into it, and it's not necessarily being that good at it. So I will let you like learn it as we all do while we play. And this time you can just like this is what you're doing, right? You like look at my chest hair. Also, I agree with you.
Basically.
So yeah, I'll allow that. So that means Rasmus can take one advantage.
Yeah.
Does anything have to do with his level of seduction to add more, or is it just one flat no matter what?
He will add one unless your exponent is high enough to warrant more. And we've been over this once before, and I don't remember.
His seduction is 5.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how high it needs to be. Maybe the procedure will unveil that to me, and I'm rhyming for no apparent reason. If
Mine
it's
is
at-
Meanwhile,
if
it
it's
sounds
at
like
5
Chris wants to
plus.
say something.
If it's at
What?
5 plus. So you you get 2 advantage die for minnow helping.
Can I also fork in a persuasion?
That depends. What do you say?
I basically, I express that I confirm and affirm that Evelyn is an equal and valued a valued partner in the organisation, not just a second in command, and that I will of course support whatever decision she eventually comes to. That being said, I do think that for practical reasons, she needs to show that as an equal, she's able to lead the group effectively. And a good way of effectively leading the group is through training them to meet her standards, not just expecting them to keep up and fall behind, as they inevitably will.
Okay, very cool. I like it. So, so what you're doing here sounds to me like right, you're harping on like the values of leadership in this case, not necessarily referencing your own leadership, but you're being like, it's not a matter of like us having to match your speed. It's about you making sure that we're all going at the same pace if you want to like be a leader.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to play up. I want her to feel like she has that capacity, like she's in a position where she can lead, where she is on that level. Because again, that's where she was coming from. She clearly feels that she is an equal to me. So who am I to shut that down? It's useful for her to think that.
Yeah, I will allow you to make that with. I'll allow you to use persuasion for that. So you may add a helping die to whichever pool you meant to add a pool to. With I think that in this case that argument would help Shihao.
Yeah.
Right, you're not helping like him. You're not helping Shihao sneak her into a corner with his feint. You're blunting the horns of her inside.
Yep.
Yes. Basically.
Okay.
I am helping Shihao while apparently helping her.
What kind of exponent are you sitting at in terms of persuade?
Moi?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My persuade is currently sitting at, where is it? B4.
Cool. So Shihao takes a helping die for that. Good job.
Yay.
So 3 in all.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, you just got 2 die because your brother is good at chasing tail.
So here's how this is
Yep.
gonna play. So you're making this roll with a stat. She's making it with a skill. You need 2 successes to match every one of hers. Roll it.
I thought she
great.
had no social skills.
She does.
She has intimidation.
She doesn't have a social skill applicable to the body of arguments roll, but she has intimidation.
Sure. Let's see how we can do.
Oh shit.
Look at that.
Not
And I would
bad.
also like to use the fate on it, just because I can.
Very cool.
Because you can.
You allow that?
Yeah, I will allow you to use fate on that. So I will allow you. I
They have
say
a
as if,
6.
as if I have a say in the matter. Yeah, use fate. Cool.
That's a success,
beans.
right?
So
You beat her with 1.
yeah. So not only do you nullify her argument, your collective efforts blunt the horns of her inside. You do your counter. You feint. You lure her into a trap, and then the teeth of the trap snap shut, and you inflict a harm to her body of argument because you harm her with the margin of success, which because you used fate is 1.
Woo!
So she goes down to 5.
Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna do like this.
Well, she's still in the lead due to having a larger pool of health.
Yeah, but now she's not gonna get what she wants exactly. You have secured a compromise no matter what happens.
Yep.
So
Not a big one, but let's make that bigger.
let's reveal the last volley then. Go.
Flip card. Ooh.
Cool. So let's see how that plays out.
So that is... Ooh, dismiss is good against insight.
Oh, that's
What?
awful.
opinion.
So let's see. Yeah, dismiss versus incite is a standard test. Incite versus dismiss is also a standard test. So we both make separate tests. In your case, now you get to incite her, and she dismisses. So your incite interrupts the flow of her dismissal, I should say. So in this case, would you like?
Want me to go first?
Is this a matter of you interrupting her, or are you going first, thereby like unsettling her before she tries to dismiss what you're saying, or is it the other way around that she tries to dismiss you and then you incite her by shitting on her point?
I think actually I would like to go first and build on what Nikki said.
Cool, do so.
If you are going to fashion yourself a leader in this group, you have to pick up the slack. It's not good enough to sit up on your pedestal hoping that we'll get to where you are at some point. Leaders help the group. Words are words, but you have to follow them by action.
Very cool. Does anyone want to help Shihao, or should we? Should I?
Totally help me.
I guess I should speak my point, and then we'll see like who helps who. So you say that, and she was already exploding at you, but she just like it's a continuation of the explosion. So it rages, the fire rages even brighter, and she says, "Shut up! You shut up! You know jack shit about what you're talking about. Leadership, you're a foreigner. You know nothing of our ways. You only have yourself. You only have whatever backwards ass outlander customs you have. You don't know what you're talking about. You need to sit down, shut up, and put up." She's trying to put you down.
So she continues on the rant on intimidation?
In this case, she is using... she's definitely using intimidation for her dismissal. So, I guess you started out with your insight, so you get to roll first, I would say. And before we make any rolls, people can interject.
Well, I'm still wondering how the hell an ugly truth could come in here.
That depends if you have, if you believe there is an ugly truth to be considered in this situation, and you know, I will point at this ugly truth, and that will totally add value to one of the arguments.
Well,
you can do
would it be...
pick me!
Since I can't actually say stuff like I'm supposed to, I could point out that the ugly truth would be that if she doesn't help, she could end up being alone and then being killed because there's no one else there to help her.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it's fine you don't want to help us fight, but you do realize that means we could get killed off.
Yeah, that's perfect.
We will get killed off, and you'll sit there alone on your pedestal being pelted down by 1,000+ people who doesn't like you.
I dig it. Also, you just spoke the part, so you can do it. It's just a matter of you need some time to get into the motion. So good job on you. You definitely spoke your part. Rasmus can take advantage die for your ugly truth. So you get one extra die to your insight test. Chris,
my ugly truth isn't high enough to give you 2. I'm sorry, brother.
Does Nicky have anything he wants to add to this exchange? I ask as deep silence covers the chat.
Roaring silence. He's thinking.
Yes, the rolling silence of the muted microphone again plagues us.
Oh, that happens.
Yes, I would. I'd like to say that. No, in this case, I've got nothing to say. Unfortunately, I think I've said my thing.
Cool. Okay. In that case, let's see them bones be rolled.
I fail to see how the hell you can use seduction on insight. But it says you can.
It's about flustering people, right?
I only saw it now. I should have done it before and continued the seduction. But ugly truth seemed to be more fitting.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I should have made a clear threat in that dismissal. I could have used a fork she has, but I didn't.
Too late.
So never mind. Okay, so you make your roll, Rasmus. I'll make mine. Let's see. Dismissal is cool. And you
Prepare
tell
for
me what
verbal
skill
pain.
you're rolling with, by the way. So
Why is there rolled one will?
That's me. I just rolled mine.
Oh shit.
that's ugly. So no successes.
Please fail.
She is going to roll her dice pool of 3, and she gets 2 bonus dice for using dismissal.
She does?
Yeah,
Cool.
but if she fucks it up, she is hesitating. Ouch.
Ow.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's rough. Okay, so yeah, so you incite her, right? You make your point. It's not a bad point, and your brother helps you out with an excellent observation about ugly truth. It's not that your words are wrong. It is that you can feel that you're wanting to make her do something, and she is grounding the two of you down, using the fact that that she's gonna decide what she wants to do, and that's part of you respecting, of you giving her the respect she says she deserves. And she's putting your arguments down because you're outsiders, because you don't get it, and just crushing your argument. So your body of argument is reduced to nothing, Rasmus, and you lose this duel of wits.
Actually, would traits play in all of this?
Traits can play in all of this if you
Because
have
we are noble born.
yeah, you are, but that does not apply to this exact situation. It would give you potentially a bonus die if dealing with other members of the nobility, in which case it wouldn't necessarily matter. But
Yeah, not to her. She's not noble in any way.
it gives you an affiliation.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Well,
So-
actually, I think our traits is actually working against us. Seeing
maybe a
we're
bit.
both spooky.
So compromises have to happen because she doesn't just get what she wants, right? You whittle down her body of argument, so she has to give you a compromise. It's a minor compromise in this case, so you owe her a minor compromise. She owes you a minor compromise. She will grant you a small concession regarding your goal, or agree to an additional minor condition that you put forth.
I have to think, because I very much know what Xiaoji's reaction would be,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mesh very well with this.
Oh, I should add as a comment to what you can do right now, because you're not just in a situation where you just lost. So here's what's up. You definitely lost the duel of wits. Now you can either accept your loss, in which case we move into compromises, or you can escalate.
Escalate what?
You can escalate using the murder most foul rules, in which case you flustering with rage, probably at being put down, and having lost the argument, resort to violence and try to
Oh
kill her.
shit!
So what I wanted him to do
Yep.
was actually to walk away.
Okay.
I don't know if that's still a thing I can do.
It's not. That was on the table when we started. But you engaged in the duel of wits. You can no longer walk away. You will.
That seems weird to me. I know it's rude, and it would definitely cement my loss, but it feels like a thing that would happen all the time.
Yeah, but in this case, these are the rules of the mechanics we're engaging, right? So, I guess you could. I mean, if you wanted to, you could make the point that you are just running out of this conversation right now, and not bothering. You would still have lost the duel of wits. She would still get exactly what she wanted, but if you're not there to demand the compromise, if no one is demanding the compromise, then I guess you're just relinquishing what little success you had in whittling down her body of argument. So you can either get something or get nothing, I guess is the point.
I think I would go with get nothing, if that means I can walk away muttering to myself.
You can do that after getting something if you want to. It
No,
flows
I
organically
want
from
to
the
do it
conversation.
as an impulsive reaction in rage kind of thing.
That works for me. In that case, the concession in this case would be something like that is discussed in the group, and we would read like she would yield to giving you like a minor compromise based on what you want. She will get that from like talking to the others.
It'd be a case of maybe Nikki would take up the point and try and ease her into it.
Yeah, probably something like that. So Rasmus, what would your like what's gonna happen here? I guess I'm putting this on you, but I think I'm actually the one who needs to make that decision. I must grant.
I definitely know what I want Shihao to do. So.
Okay. You must grant him a small concession regarding your goal, or agree to an additional minor compromise he puts forth. Okay, so so she will agree to a minor condition that you put forth, right? Or a decisions.
Could you repeat that? I just dropped out and back in.
You must grant him a small concession regarding your goal, or agree to an additional minor condition that is put forth. Do you have a preference here? I'm actually supposed to just call this, but I don't know which I'm gonna go for.
I feel like since I'm going to leave, that I shouldn't have a say in it.
I mean, I know that you feel like that, but you, the player, will have that because you engaged in a duel of wits. So you will decide the prize, and then the characters will figure it out.
I have no preference.
Okay. I'm just going to decide then that she's going to grant you a small concession regarding your goal, and then you walk off and you tell me what that concession is. What concessions is she granting you? She will hash that out with the others, and that will be the conclusion you arrive at.
Maybe her concession is that she agrees that some training is needed, just not from her. I don't know.
Right, so that like she doesn't expect you all to just like pick up and get better out of nowhere, but like she kind of like respects the point you made, like that she respects the point about like that she needs to match the pace in a certain extent, that she can't just run off and be better than everyone else. She kind of, if she's going to occupy the space that she's now laid claim to in the duel, she must do it in a way that like gives you all space to follow. Cool. I'll definitely, yeah, that's a good concession. And so what we see like as the duel of wits comes to an end is that what you described, right? Like you storm off muttering.
Yeah, I think Shihao gets up, gives her not a long look, but just looks on her, and then storms off, muttering to him, "Stubborn fool."
Definitely, yeah. It stings, right? It stings. You definitely lost that argument, but you don't have to be happy about it. So
I think in Shihao's mind, he mostly lost because he couldn't just kill her right then and there.
I mean, nothing's stopping you.
Aside from the fact that then the others would kill him.
Shrug. Okay, so yep, there you have it. So Shihao bolts off, muttering angrily, and then I guess she looks after you for a moment. The rest of you like see her staring after Shihao, victory in her face, and then like the zest of the victory kind of like diminishes a bit, and there's like a sour scowl comes over her. She snorts, and you can see like in her mind she's conceding that maybe there was something to this, and she looks to you, Nikki. So what do you say as she looks to you after this? Like she doesn't say anything, but she has like the kind of she has a loud stare.
Yep. Nikki nods and pats her on the back. Yeah, sort of, well done. You've shown them what for, kind of way. He acknowledges her victory and her dominance.
Cool. Yeah.
And then says, "Well, you've made your point, and as I said, I respect it. We're partners in this."
Yeah, like, I think like you don't advertise your romance right regularly, but I think like she's stepping closer to you, and she's like she maybe she doesn't think about it, but she's putting a hand on your arm, like just for comfort for a moment.
Mm.
Go
He
on.
says, and then he says, yeah, well, at the very least, that makes me, well, you're right. We all need to live, we all need to do what we can to pick ourselves up and get with the pace, but, well, I suppose you could keep an eye out behind you while we do so,
I mean,
just for now, for me.
I know. I will. Okay, I will.
We'll get there.
I didn't mean all that. It's just.
That's all right. I know. He trust me. He frustrates me as well. I say that very quietly.
With
the fucking.
Minnow right on the other side of her because he was flirting with her just seconds ago.
Yeah.
Yes, but because he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't care that you can hear because you're the brother.
Right.
Brothers are meant to be frustrated with each other, so he thinks you're safe. It's him. It's Jihaoji. He doesn't want him to hear saying it.
So she steps back from you like for a moment and just like kind of steals herself and being like, no, I won this, and this is okay. Like fucking yes, like I know they all hurt me. So she has this moment where she kind of like. She takes a deep breath and she's like, I get it, okay, I do. We're moving in a different direction now. Things are scary, but things are going to get even scarier for people in our way, okay? We're going to make grand strides. Everything's going to be fucking awesome because that's how we play this game. Woe betide the bitches who wants to stand in our way. And I won't just... You get better. All of you.
I know.
You get better. I'm not going to leave you in the dust. I'm not going to leave you hanging.
Speaking of which, Minnow says, I should go after him, making sure he doesn't set fire to the entire city after this. Excuse me while I go rein him in.
Shitting fires. Yeah, you do that.
Minnow makes a nod to her like, yep, I do recognize that you won this.
Yeah.
And then walks after Xiaoji to make sure he doesn't set fire to shit.
Yes. I'm actually going to request of our GM that we take a quick break now, and then when we come back, I'm going to play Nikki out as actually wanting to actually think about how to go forward with Evelyn's idea of finding the sons of bitches, getting them all together in one place, and then moisturizing them.
Right, like that's a good point. So let's get back to that after this break, everyone. So be right back.